Everyone. Not many articles of clothing have been veiled in controversy as much as the hijab. It has become so much more than the symbol of modesty that it was supposed to be. It's been associated with oppression, extremism, conservatism, and harassment for women who wear them. But how much do we really know about the hijab? Joining us to clear up some misconceptions and help us understand it better is our very own Zehra Allibhai. And Zehra, I'm so glad you're with us and we're having this conversation today. Can we start with understanding the meaning of the word hijab?
Yes, for sure. First of all, I'm so glad we're having this conversation. And yeah, so the meaning of hijab. Hijab is actually an Arabic word. It's been around for a very long time, since the Arabic language has been around. And it means to veil or to cover. So it had more of a meaning when it was mentioned in the Quran, which is the holy book of Islam. And it meant for veil or covering. It meant as a sign of modesty for women. And hijab is really a way for women to show their devotion, to represent their religion, and show a sign of modesty.
So a lot of people believe that wearing the hijab represses women or limits them. What does wearing a hijab mean to you, Zehra?
I think a lot of times it's just about maybe what people might see in the media or what they might hear. I think when they have an actual conversation with a woman who does decide to wear the hijab, it might be very different. So I think a lot of the times it's just the idea of the unknown and kind of what you hear, as opposed to having that direct conversation with someone who does wear hijab or Muslim women. And to me, hijab means it just really, for me, feels like it's like my crown. It's a way for me to represent my religion, my faith, my devotion to God. I really feel like it is a blessing that I'm able to do that. And I really feel like as much as I can represent the religion in a good way.
Okay, talk to us about how your lovely daughter, Asia, has embraced the hijab. I love her kids. So it was really nice to see Asia doing this on Instagram as I saw that. So tell me a little bit about that and her decision.
Yeah, so I think, a lot of times they see what their parents are doing. We've talked about hijab. It's something that she's definitely trying out. I think she's getting more comfortable with the idea of wearing it out to certain places. And then there are some days where she doesn't want to. She's still young. And it's been really nice to see that progression. I think it's really important to have those open conversations and really explain to them the meaning behind it. And I want her to really feel like, just as I do, as proud as I do to wear, I want her to feel like that when she puts it on. It's been really nice when she wears it at school. It really opens up conversations with her friends. And I think that's so important as well, that she's open and willing to have those conversations with me, but also with her friends who aren't Muslim, who might not understand the hijab. She feels like she can explain it and represent it in the right way.
And Zehra, it remains a decision that she gets to make, right? This is up to Asia.
Yeah, exactly. Hijab isn't only about the clothing. It's about the way you act, about, other aspects of the religion as well. So I really want her to understand that as well before she decides to wear it full time.
So we see women wearing the hijab in different ways. Are there specific ways to wear the hijab?
No, I think, Islam is, one of the biggest religions in the world. And I think it has a lot to do with where the women are and their cultures, right? So you'll see people in Saudi Arabia wear it differently. You'll see people in Africa wear it differently. You'll see people in Canada wear it differently. And there really is no right way. A lot of times the idea is just to have modest clothing, a piece of cloth to cover your head. It can be any fabric. I'm sure you've seen the sports hijabs. You've seen the hijabs women wear to swim. You see beautiful colors when they're attending fun events that match their outfits, and you'll see, me wearing my regular basic hijabs that I wear all the time when I'm working out.
Absolutely. And are there times when you don't wear your hijab, Zehra?
Yeah, so a lot of times at home we don't wear it. The idea is to cover in front of the opposite sex, but when you're home in front of your husband, your kids, your parents, any type of family relative, you don't have to wear it. And a lot of times weddings and events will have like a women's only gathering where, our hair is done and we're all dressed up and you don't have to wear your hijab in those settings.
Okay, very cool. Not so cool. Places like Quebec and France have banned the hijab for certain age groups, fields of work, and we saw how social media reacted to a post by Vogue France on Julia Fox. Julia Fox, who is an actor, model. She wore a headscarf to Fashion Week, and Vogue was like, yes to the headscarf, but no to the Muslim woman wearing the headscarf. What did you think of that?
Yeah. I think it's just, again, like I said, it's just such a double standard, I find. A lot of girls in France and a lot of women in Quebec are unable to just do what they want to do, go to university. There's been teachers that have been removed from schools for wearing the hijab. It's just a way of them to represent their religion. And I feel like a lot of times, those rights are being taken away because maybe there's a misunderstanding or a misconception of what that hijab means. And then to actually go and say, how cool is the headscarf? It's really hurtful because these are people who are deciding, do I go to university or do I give up like a fundamental belief of my faith? And so a lot of people spoke out against it, and they went back and they did revise the caption. But again, it's a very hurtful feeling.
Listen, I appreciate you chatting with us about this, and we're always very cognizant of the fact that Zehra represents Zehra. She doesn't represent all Muslim women, but I think it's important that we have these conversations with folks so that we can gain a better understanding of what is happening in your world. So thank you for that. And I can't wait till I can see your kids again in real life, because they used to come here and hang out.